Hello, everyone. Hopefully you are having a fabulous, fabulous Tuesday. I can't believe it's Tuesday. It already feels like it should be later in the week, but alas, it is only Tuesday. Nicole Vincent here. I'm so glad that you are part of our holistically empowered community. I set up this community as a safe place to talk about topics that in the past have kind of been faux pas, like you don't talk about, taboo, in a way that aligns with Judeo-Christian beliefs. And so that's what this community is very important to me to make sure that that's part of it, because I think that these are great tools and ideas, but I want to make sure that they are aligning with traditional Judeo-Christian beliefs. So I posed the question yesterday, if you saw it on the group, to share your top 3 concerns with me, and I would test, and I just did muscle testing. We've talked about that here in this group. If you're like, what the heck is she talking about? Look in the video section of this group and you'll see there's 2 videos on muscle testing. I got cut off on one of them, so that's why it's split into 2, but there's 2 videos on muscle testing. But all of our concerns are going to have a physical and an emotional component. And typically, if you look at the list and the results of what was coming up, more often than not, emotionally is going to be the bigger piece of the pie on our concerns. And so what happens when, we'll use a headache, for example. Let's say that I've had headaches my whole life. This is a true statement. And I keep taking Tylenol, Advil. I look for different food triggers. I look at all the physical things that I can do to try and get rid of these headaches. But alas, I still keep having these headaches. Well, if I'm not looking at the emotional cause of headaches, then I'm missing a big piece of the picture. And so that's where this little puppy comes into play. So I posted about this book in the group, and there's a link that goes straight to Amazon that you can get it. It also is an app form. So if you have a smartphone, just type in your app store, Feeling Spirit Alive Never Die. And there's an app, it's called, I think, Healing Feelings. It's like $4 to $7. I can't remember how much it is, but it's totally worth it. It's basically like the book on app form. And so what I can do in this book, if you're kind of confused that our emotions have a physical manifestation, the actual book part of this is the author, Carol Trueman, going through scientific reasons and studies that show that our emotions have physical manifestations. And then in the second half of the book is a great, great resource where you can look up your physical ailment, and it's going to list the emotional roots that are typically connected with that problem. So we're going to use the headaches, for example, because that's something that's common. That's something that a lot of people have. And so headaches, and I'm going to read this, and it doesn't mean when you look up your ailment, it doesn't mean that you are going to have every single one of them. Some of them might not resonate with you. Some of them are like, oh my gosh, that is crazy and freaky, and how did it even know that? But your body doesn't lie. It's trying to communicate with you. You're just learning how to listen, and I'm teaching you some new ways to listen to your body and what it's trying to say. So with headaches, some of the emotional roots of headaches, for tension and stress headaches, these are the different emotions that can kind of be contributing to that. Inability to resolve emotional upsets, hurt feelings going unexpressed, feelings of inner pressure working on you, feeling unable to control, feelings of fear and anxiety getting the best of you, unpleasant relationships, inability to face an issue, manifesting the need to laugh, sing, praise, or express gratitude, impatience with self for things you haven't done yet, or you haven't done enough. And if you get the frontal headaches, like right in the front, this can be a sign of holding on to old limitations, not seeing the good in anything, or feeling that you're better than other people. And so by looking at this, 1 or 2 of those might really ring a bell for you. And then that can give you a different perspective of, okay, let's say it's feelings of unable to control, that really is like, oh, I really do try to control the situations. Then instead of popping another Advil, maybe that headache is trying to tell me, hey, Nicole, you need to let go. You need to let go and let God take care of it. And if I'm able to do that, maybe through prayer, maybe through journaling, maybe through whatever, I'm able to release that headache. And so my body, I'm listening to you, and you're able to release it. Other things you can do, like I showed you yesterday, the emotion code, that is huge, 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 huge at helping with releasing trapped emotions. And so that's another thing. So let's say you have headaches and you're like, okay, I've got headaches and it was a 95% emotional root. Okay. What you can do as you make sure you get your emotion code book, because this will walk you through it and it's super easy. The emotion code book also in the front of it is going to teach you, the first few chapters are going to teach you how to muscle test. And so let's say I've got 95% of my headaches is emotionally based. Then what I can do is I can test, are there trapped emotions connected to my headaches? Yes. And then I could test how many trapped emotions are connected to my headaches. And you can, count until you get that number, and then you can say, okay, well, how many can I release today without negative side effects? And then you can start identifying that. And then at the end, you're saying, okay, when can I release more? Oh, in 4 weeks. Then in 4 weeks, you put on your calendar and you can release more. And it is just such a great way and a great angle to look at, because we really do, we're in a very physical-based society, right? We are taught, conditioned to look at physicalness of our body. It's not a bad thing. There are physical things that we need to take care of, but we're not taught to look at the emotional side. Another great tool that you can do if you're like, oh, I keep getting these headaches, it's emotionally based, I feel like I can't control anything, it's out of control. What you can do, this is another of my favorite books, and a lot of you might already have this if you already are using essential oils, but this is one of my favorite books. It's called Emotions and Essential Oils. And this is going to tell you the emotional properties of essential oils. Now, I will tell you, if you are not an essential oil user, make sure, don't just go to like your grocery store and get essential oils. Don't go on Amazon and get your oils. You need to find a reputable essential oil representative and get your oils that way, okay? If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can shoot me a message or talk to the friend that invited you to this group, and they can probably hook you up with some sweet oils. But you want to make sure you're having therapeutic oils so you're getting therapeutic results both physically and emotionally. So we're going to look in the index here under control, okay? So, okay, do I feel like I'm being controlled, or do I feel like I'm being controlling? They actually have both listed. So if I'm feeling controlled, I would use a blend of oils called the Protected Blend, because that makes you feel safe. Clove, that's the oil of boundaries. Coriander is a very great oil to help you feel loyal to yourself, and ginger is kind of your warrior oil. It's like, oh, I can do this. If I feel like I'm being too controlling, which that's typically the case, is I'm like, I'm the driver, I'm going to take care of the situation, and that's causing my headaches, then I would want to look at these oils. Cilantro, the cleansing blend, which is a blend of oils that helps detoxify and cleanse things like the air and helps with purification and things like that. Cinnamon, wintergreen, cypress, sandalwood, a blend that helps regulate your metabolism. Arbor Vitae, or a reassuring blend that helps bring peace into your life. And so I can look up each of these individual oils and see which one, oh, that really is my reason why I feel like I have to control. So we're going to look at this real quick. We're going to look at wintergreen. So wintergreen is, if I can do my ABCs right, here we go. So wintergreen is the oil of surrender. And so I'm just kind of demonstrating this to you so you can take your own tools and you can do this for yourself. That is my entire goal with this group, is I want to teach you guys how to do these things yourself so that you can take your own healthcare, your own well-being to the next level. Because I feel that as we can take our own well-being, our own emotional stability, just be the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be, we can help so many more people and help them in such a deeper and better way. And so I'm hoping, I want to create a tidal wave of healers and helpers that are ready and willing and able to go out there and help this world that needs so much goodness and light. Okay, so wintergreen is the oil of surrender. So it can assist the strong-willed individuals in letting go of the need to know and the need to be right. So if I'm having control issues and that's causing my headache, this would be a great oil to use. Now, if you know about wintergreen, you know that it's also very great for pain relieving. So if I could apply the wintergreen on my head, the back of my neck when I have a headache, I'm getting a 2-for-1 there. I'm getting pain relief and I'm getting emotional relief. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And you'll notice that has a lot of the essential oils that benefit different parts of the body. They're very close in what emotionally how they benefit the body as well. So a respiratory blend, for example, our lungs are where we store grief, where we, like, if we don't feel loved, if we feel a sense of loss, then that's where it's stored in our lungs, and we will have breathing difficulties such as asthma, shortness of breath, things like that, and that's stored in your lungs, those emotions. Now, if you read, let's talk about, so there's a respiratory blend that can help open up your lungs, help you breathe better. It's awesome. Now, emotionally, listen to what this does and see if it makes sense to you. The respiratory blend addresses the inability to let go of grief and pain. People in need of this blend struggle to breathe and literally feel suffocated by sadness. So that where we're trapped, where those emotions are getting trapped in our lungs, the oil that is for the lungs can actually emotionally help as well. And so as you see these numbers, if you haven't already gone on your post, please don't post it on this video. Look for the post within the Holistic Empowered community. It's got a picture of a man silhouette and then different emotions linked to different parts of his body. Post within that. You can do up to 3. You don't have to do 3, but up to 3 health concerns, and I will test and let you know how much percentage is physical based and how much is emotionally based. Now, if you got a high physical base, then honestly, you're going to probably be able to find solutions pretty easy. Maybe going to the chiropractor or the doctor, or changing your nutrition routine, or supplementing well. If you got a high emotional thing, you're going to have to dig a little bit. That's going to be a little bit more work to really get to the root of stuff and to help your body heal. Because when we get the emotions processed, acknowledged, and released, our body is going to be in harmony, and it's going to be able to heal itself. Because our bodies are perfectly designed. God was a master creator when he created them, because they are designed to heal themselves. But we have these emotions, and then we're like, ooh, that's a bad emotion. I'm going to stuff it down and pretend I'm not angry, or pretend I'm not mad, or whatever. And then that anger is going to fester and fester and fester until, oh, guess what? We have liver problems. And so be mindful of it. Yes, take the time to research, spend some time there. These 2 books together, the Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die. It is a tongue twister. Good luck with it. The Emotions and Essential Oils, and then Emotion Code, which my Emotion Code book is over there because I basically have memorized, but the Emotion Code, and this is the Emotion Code chart. Those 3 things, along with muscle response testing, will be paramount and so important and vital to uncovering your emotional issues. Now, there's lots of different things to how to release emotion other than just Emotion Code that we've talked about. Writing a letter and tearing it up and burning it is a great emotional release. Going on a drive and asking the person's spirit that you're having a problem with to come sit down by you and let them have it. Just get it out of your system. That way you're not chewing someone's head off that isn't going to better the situation, but you're getting it out of your system. That's a great way. Painting a picture or creating something. Even destroying something. Maybe if you're super duper angry, maybe it's time to renovate something, and you just get a sledgehammer and you go crazy on that wall. Or there's so many different ways to let your emotions out in a way that isn't going to be harmful to yourself or to others. But give it time. Let yourself experience those emotions, because our emotions are really like toddlers. If we don't acknowledge them and say, hey, that's a good little anger, guess what? It's going to throw itself on the floor and have an entire temper tantrum and meltdown until you drag it screaming out of the grocery store. Our emotions are the same way. So if you can say, anger, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that you're here. I recognize you. I honor you. Now move along. It works so much better because it doesn't fester inside you. So play around with it. There's not a right or a wrong way to do things. Just, I would encourage you to pray, meditate, whatever aligns you with your higher power. For me, it's prayer. And seek for that guidance and seek for that help. Because really, as we become emotionally healthy, we're more spiritually healthy. And I really believe that's what God wants us to do, is he wants us to be closer to him and to our divine purpose. And so if we're able to handle our emotions and process them and get emotionally healthy and physically healthy, we can be spiritually healthy as well. So Debbie asked, are we able to set up a private consultation with you? Yes. If anybody, I'm not here to necessarily solicit clients, but if you do want extra help, I do take private clients. My website is Nicole R, do not forget the R, Vincent.com, and it's under the services tab, and you just set up a new client session. So, and I can work with anybody remotely or over in my home. I'm in Houston, Texas. So if anybody's here. So it really, guys, I want to pour so much knowledge into you and teach you the things that I've learned. If you are wanting to learn more, I also do private muscle testing and private lessons, so to speak. So if that's something you're interested in, please message me. But this is something you can totally learn on your own. It just takes time and practice. So guys, have a fabulous day. Ponder your numbers. See what your body is trying to tell you. Use your resources, your books, your apps, and figure out your story so that you can rewrite a better one, and one that it's just your true self. So guys, have a great, great week. We'll talk to you soon, and I will keep trickling goodness about emotion code and other emotional wellness tools and ideas this week in this group. So thank you so much for being here. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.